Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In our previous session, we have seen what ER model is, why it is required, and how to create an ER model. Continuing our discussion, we know that ER model is required to extract the data requirements of a given application. All right, so we have seen why it is required. Then, what is ER model? We have looked at it. ER model refers to set of concepts. So we have seen these two things, what is ER model and why it is required. The how part of it we were discussing yesterday, how to how to build an ER model. Yesterday we saw the ER model of a educational institute. So today we shall take up two examples to illustrate the concept of ER model and its usage in a real scenario. First one is a banking application. Now in banking, all of you are familiar with the banks. Uh, Whenever a customer goes to a bank, the customer data is to be captured. So customer becomes an important entity type. So when he wants to open an account, so account becomes an important entity type. So generally, when you want to open an account, you go to the nearest branch of the bank. So branch becomes an important entity. Similarly, he will interact with the employees of the bank while creating the account. Then possibly once he gets an account, he performs the transactions. And again, depending on the need, he may apply for loan and further all of this will come under the entity bank. So assuming that our application contains these set of entity types, the important entity types that we can identify quickly. However, you have other entities which you can explore like beneficiary. So how do I proceed after this step? Important thing is first identify all the important entity types that make up the application. The next thing is you should now look at how to draw this. Of course, I have shown you how to do this using a tool, but before that, a rough sketch, if you can draw, that would be helpful. For example, you might have bank as an entity. Then the next thing to include is a branch. And when you have branch, there will be customers associated with it. So we'll pick up one more customer. And then when you have a customer, you will have an account. Usually you'll have one or more accounts. So just say account now. And once he has accounts, probably he will perform the transaction. So you will have one more entity here, transactions. Of course, to run the bank, you need the employees. So employees form another entity. So as you can observe, we have not used any plural word in any of these entities. All are singular. They signify that they are set of entities in the given application. So as you can see from these diagrams, you can connect bank and branch, branch and employee, then customer and branch, So this is a rough sketch you must draw, and using the tool you can further refine it. And account as transactions. Similarly, if you have a customer has taken loan, so there will be a loan account, which again is connected to customer. So some rough sketch like this you should have. So again, coming to coordinate ratio, one bank may have many branches, many employees work for one branch, then one branch has many customers, one customer may have many accounts and the account may be shared. So in general it is M/N. One customer may have many loan, okay, and then one account may perform many transactions. So some such rough sketch you must have so that you have some basic understanding of how the whole ER diagram has to be designed before you launch your ER2. So let's go to ER2, that is dia. It will take a little while to load. Yeah. Now, as I told you, the first thing that you do is page setup, where you will put scaling factor as 35 and choose landscape here, so that you have complete area for your purpose. So you can just copy this and paste as many as you want and place them appropriately. So this could be your bank and this could be your branch. This could be your customer. This could be your beneficiary. This could be the employees, and this could be your account of the customer. And one last, you could have all the transactions here. So after placing, you can just start naming them. This is your bank. This is your branch. This is your customer. This is your account. These are the transactions. You can write transaction full or just like that. And this is employee of the bank. And then here it could be a loan account. All right. So as you can see, we have just listed out all the entities. Now it is time to connect them. So bank has branches. So one bank has many branches. Can slightly keep it here. And then, this is the component connection. Yeah, so this is the branch and this is the bank. And then you require customer belongs to. So many will belong to one branch. You can take these things a little down here. So as you can see, if you have a tool like this, it is very handy. You can just move the things around and make room for all the important entities and their relationships. So employee again can be connected to the branch. So many employees work for one branch. Many is on the right hand side. So you connect like this. Employee, and then customer has account. So if it has multiple accounts and the accounts are shared by more than one person, it's going to be many to many. Accordingly, M is to N will come here, and you need to connect customer to the account here. Then one customer has many loans. So we want it to be vertical, and do like that. Now you connect the loan account to the customer. This city here, and then account has transactions. You can say transactions of left hand side. One account may have many transactions like this. So we connect the reason I am taking more than one example is that you should be comfortable designing the AR model for any other application scenario, because practically when you want to do projects, you should know how to model the AR model for a new scenario. The experience here will help. Alright, now we have connected all entities and it is time to add the attributes. So we can pick up the attribute here. Bank name is a key attribute because every bank has a unique name. Then we have address here. Yeah. And you know how to connect these attributes to the bank. Alright, so employee will have employee ID and it is a key attribute. You can put employee first name, last name, and so on. I'm just putting one or two attributes so that I can quickly complete the diagram, minimal set of attributes, so that you get a big picture of loan account, loan number. This is a key attribute. Okay. Then loan amount, then type of loan and interest rate, all that will go here. Of course, the recovery of loan will go into another table called as EMIs, where you can record the payments done by the customer. So this is account number, this is a key attribute. Then in any account there will be some balance amount, so balance. We can connect these two now. Okay, transaction will have a transaction ID. Can slightly change it a bit. Transaction will have a transaction ID, and then you can apply. And this is going to be a key attribute. So then transaction date, time, and whether it was a debit or credit and amount. So that should go here. So branch, again we should have branch ID, branch ID, branch name, branch ID, IFSC code, and all that stuff you can add to describe the branch. So this is how you will create the ER model for your bank. Save it. Yeah. So I will show you one which is already created, and you will get an idea as to what it takes to build a AR model for a banking application. So if you scroll down here, so possibly this is the one. As you can see again, bank, branch, account, customer, okay, transaction, and all that manage the things branch. So you could have a complete ER diagram of what you have done. Of course, we missed out few things. The branch has to be managed by a manager. So here you can add one more relationship, manager of. So one branch will have only one manager. So 1:1 here, and we need to connect the employee to branch like that. Okay. So we indicated coordinate ratios, and also we have indicated how the relations are related. But participation constraint, you can think of like this is going to be a full participation, because every bank has branches and every branch has to belong to the bank. Here is going to be employee managers will be partial, but every branch will have a manager. So this is going to be yes here, like that. So adding more attributes to each of the entities, you complete this diagram. So this is a ER model for banking application. Okay, so let's see how quickly I can add more attributes. Employee will have salary here. A mistake in the spelling. Salary here. You can store his address here. Again, address will be composite, but let's not bother much about it. You can add phone number to the bank, so that in case of any emergency requirement you can call the bank employees for some details. So their employee should be connected to address and salary. You can include other things like his qualification or whatever, his designation. Employee will have designations. He might be a deputy manager, or he could be a clerk or anything. Then customer, we have not added any attribute, so customer should have a customer ID. Now, if you don't find a unique attribute for some entity, and if it is deliberately added, such an attribute is called as surrogate attribute. Like CID is not really a property of a customer, but we require it to uniquely identify the customer. So customer ID is a surrogate attribute. All right. Then customer address we require is cell number to send OTP whenever you want to do some online transaction. So you require cell number of the customer. So what to include as attribute become obvious if you know the domain, and depending on how the entities interact with the application, so requirements will start pouring in. Then here loan type, whether it is short-term loan or long-term loan, and accordingly the interest rate that is charged. Then loan type again could be description of the loan, whether it is housing loan, car loan. Okay, so you can add one more attribute, category, loan categories, whether it is housing category or two-wheeler, four-wheeler, whatever. So can be like that. And one nice thing is, suppose you want to move all of this to the right hand side, you can select everything and then move this all at once, so that you get the whole thing. Oh, could miss, we missed this part, we can bring it down and place it here, and again see that this line connects to the attribute. Right, okay. Now transaction will have the amount transacted, then on which date, time, date, time. If you want to put both of them together, that is also possible. And then some description of that, like how, why this money was transferred in what form, whether it is cash or check or whatever. And if it is check, then check number, date, etc. has to be recorded. So some such arrangement you can think of, but you should know why you are adding those attributes and what is their role in the application. So you can make little room for these things here. Branch, then branch usually will have branch name, then possibly the IFSC code, account may have type of account, whether it is SP account, RD account. So as you become more involved in building ER models for different application domain, automatically you start, you know, understanding what are the attributes I should add, whether to add as attribute as a whether add something as an attribute or make it as a separate entity, that becomes obvious. Now, we have not seen anything multi-valued or weak entity type anywhere, but with proper discussion and deliberations, you can bring in those things also. Like employee has dependents, we are not accounted for dependents. So if you want to add dependent for the employee, you can always add. So here dependent, and that is connected through employee relationship as so close this first. So you can enlarge the diagram or contract it. So employee has dependent. You can slightly move this here and this slightly here so that you have clearer picture of what you're trying to. Yeah. It is very sensitive. Just enlarging a little bit will make the diagram very clean, neat. So you can save this and take a printout and finalize. So you understood how to draw an AR model for a banking application. Hope all of this was interesting to all of you, and I request you to make an attempt to draw this diagram and see for yourself how a complete ER diagram can be drawn. And any further modification, you can always open this tool, add, remove any attributes that are required or not required, and then complete it. For example, here we forgot to add the dependent name. So dependent name we should add, and we know it is a weak key, and we should include that with a dotted underline here. You can place it here and connect it through the line like that. Then gender of the dependent, his address and all that. So there will always be scope to further improvise what you have done, and you can always it's an iterative process basically to complete this diagram by, you know, uh, making all the necessary changes and then taking a final print and keeping it as an important document in the process of software development. So friends, you understood how to draw an AR model for a new application scenario, and I'm sure with this kind of tool you can come up with a most complete ER model, and this will be very helpful in arriving at the relational model, and we shall see in due course how to use 7 mapping rules to convert this ER model into relational model. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.